Okay, so this is a follow-up to the video that most likely released earlier today or yesterday. I found some more information that I want to get off my head before I end up going to bed because it's 5 a.m. My sleeping pattern is screwed. But I found the archived media of this person who removed this thing. Um, this Anna Valaine's person. Apparently, she removed it because the group censored her because this is the whole thing that Honeypop should be removed. Um, over the past week, gamers have heavily criticized Australian group Politically Shout. The radical feminist group um, has taken responsibility for changes to Steam's payment processors that resulted in the removal of various games with taboo themes. As Collective Shout wrote on its official website today, the group has targeted nearly 500 games for removal on Steam, with 81 titles that the group still wants delisted from Valve Stormfront. A concern consumers have dug into Collective Shout's history to better understand its future plans. Many have missed a key aspect hiding in public eye. Collective Shout has the backing of several prominent anti-porn groups. Um, so anyone who ends up watching my previous videos who say that, oh, they're not religious, they're feminist, have you ever thought for a moment that these groups love to use certain wording to hide and protect themselves? Like, on July 11th, Collective Shout published an open letter to CEOs behind PayPal, MasterCard, JCB. On the post, Collective Shout includes signatures from executives as such National Center for Sexual Exploitation, um, and Exodus Cry. Other allies include the anti-porn groups, Coalition Against Trafficking Against Women, Cease. Both News and Exodus have previously encouraged the removal of content online they deem harmful. Um, so one organization wants Honeypop ban, another hates the dancing. Uh, of course, they hate the meme. It's a funny little joke. Most of these people are also old people that have no reason in looking in games because they can't understand such things. Um, Previously targeted a series of visual novels, briefly threatening the removal of these titles on Steam's digital form. Steam ultimately reversed the decision to ban these games, instead opening the doors to adult content on the platform since 2018, which I guess really pissed off this group. Steam, in its various articles, almost as if the anti-porn organization has been waiting for an opportunity to go viral with a censorship campaign against the platform, did the group play a pivotal role in pressuring American payment processors to change their policies towards Steam. It's plausible not to try to say this NOC or NCOSE, which originally began as the Religious Morality and Media Organization, is a conservative group based in the U.S. Conservatives. Um, Unipop is a game available on Steam, popular gaming platform. Um, Safety features to make sure games of this nature are not found, especially material. Yes, you have to turn this stuff on. And if you're a parent and you end up finding people who have turned this stuff on for their kids, or at least haven't turned it off, or added children locks, this is on the parents' fault. They shouldn't be parents. Simple. Exodus Cry led a viral crusade against PH in 2020, resulting in significant changes to the world's most popular adult content platform. Free Speech Coalition Mike Stable has previously described Exodus Cry as a faith-based activist group that believes all PG and sex, or well, yeah, sex work should be banned. Um, in 2018, Exodus Cry argued in a post that online searches for video games, Fortnite and Pokemon led to children to graphic uh, bedroom material, trying to figure out how to dodge around YouTube. The articles proceeded to criticize the viral Animal Crossing New Horizons inspired, I think this is Anka Zone NSW dancing meme for usual, a character from popular channel. Again, Google has safe search. If you turn off safe search, this is your own fault. Last I checked, I think Google also has parental controls, which prevents the turning off of safe search if the account is below an age. Sorry if that came through the microphone. I had to plug up my headset. Um, Misleading. The phrasing is misleading. New Horizons was actually the most popular with adults in their 20s and 30s, and Nintendo's title became a household name among millennials and young adults. Zoomers struck inside amidst the early days of the COVID pandemic. Probably going to get banned for that because I can't say that word on YouTube because God forbid you have, censoring everywhere. This is why I'm against censoring. You can't say the D word. You got to say unalive. You can't say the other word. You got to say PDF. It's just this type of, it hurts people. It doesn't help. Yesterday, Vice requested specific details from Collective Shout on Steam games that, per the organization, depicts CA. As of yet, the group has not clarified which games portray such the subject matter and how. As this reporter covered yesterday, it seems incredibly unlikely that any adult games depicted underage characters in bedroom scenarios. Valve previously pulled a visual novel over a hidden inaccessible file of an 18 plus scene with a character that Valve considered underage, even though the game publisher denied the claim. The visual novel was only restored to Steam when the offending file was removed. Again, Steam has also taken points of just people mass reporting a game because they don't like it. So, stop video game to become human, depicting child abuse and violence against women being sold in Australia. Again, this stuff. Again, it's not one of those things that removing it from media, acting like it doesn't happen because it's reality. This stuff happens in real life, and banning it from fictional media is only going to push things further into disarray. It's not going to help the world. In other words, it seems virtually impossible for Steam to host any adult content or games depicting CA. Rather, Collective Shout may be targeting particular or popular video games that depict children in scenarios where their faces distress or harm, even if those depictions are not intended to encourage concern and care for the care in the player, or depiction are intended to encourage concern and care for the player. From there, the organization. So if that's the case, then um, there goes FF14. So anyone who likes Final Fantasy 14, say goodbye to that game. Because as soon as they figure out that there is a quest in that game where a mother is trying to sell their child for drugs. But again, it's meant for you to care, and the Warrior of Light steps in and stops such a thing from happening and saves them. But these things happen in real life. In 2018, Collector Shout encouraged its supporters to sign a petition to ban the game from Australia, claiming the child abuse. Again, this doesn't actually hurt people. No one that I currently know in this world has played Detroit Become Human and then proceeded to go do child abuse or um, do violence against women. Um, yeah, they try to get Grand Theft Auto using misleading language to target the video game for such a thing. Um, yeah, it is not a misogynistic funhouse. The game is completely different for what it is. Um, but this is just one thing. Then again, we're going back to itch.io again because this is the reason why I wanted to use this site. And honestly, even if they revert this, I don't know if I really can use these sites again. I don't know if I feel safe doing any of these things because an open indie game marketplace, they're no longer open indie game marketplace anymore because of what they've done with this. Um, It's insulting that itch.io, a platform widely used by queer people who make niche games, who would crave to or cave to anti-queer so-called feminist organizations like CS remove content they do not like, which includes a large portion of LGBTQ content. And I'm going to say now, I'm part of this community. Um, Look forward to check to run their operation all expenses account. Yeah, once the NSFW games go, you can be damn certain these zealots will come after anything LGBT related. Go to the payment process and collect a shout for HIO. It was either this or bankruptcy. They're gonna go bankrupt anyway. Their site got a lot of funding because of NSFW games. Um, I know a lot of people who will just stop using them now. Um, The goal of sex negative progressiveness was always Bible Belt style puritanism. People just fell for that hook, line, and sinker as long as they only target anime content as problematic. Expectedly, they now come for the rest. If they lose access to payment, everyone is this. Again, you're blaming the wrong entity here, yes, but it could still have joined the fight. Um, Points for admitting why. This is a blog post that I showed before. This one, which again, I want to reiterate. Um, Yeah, this is a critical moment. The situation developed rapidly and we had to act urgently. Yes, but a single copy and paste thing of just copy this, paste it, mass send to everyone on the platform that's a developer. Done. Now everyone's made aware and problem solved. You don't now have mass hysteria. Um, not 5 to 6 hours later. No matter how you word it, your open marketplace status is now a lie. When you're forced by a prude group to do better for those affected because trust is now low. My trust for Steam, my trust for Itch is now in the toilet. I can only think of, I think, Epic Games and GOG that was not affected yet. And this guy talked about this on uh, YAI. I'm not how to sure pronounce that properly. GameWorks side, but evangelical Puritan Christian types from Australia and America who have money, lobbying groups, and people of power at Visa and MasterCard are pushing to censor games hard right now. I'm fully for adult games, LGBT plus games. Horror games and violent games too. These groups show over and over again they'll see Satanism, it's just like satanic panic, and everything from Mortal Kombat to Grand Theft Auto to Pokemon. Always the same with these Puritan conservative types. I'm fully against it, push hard against it with my small games. I'm still going to work on my game at this point. I don't care. I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm upset. Um, and then this person who doesn't know how to read or even look up or do any information, you have no idea what you're talking about. If you're blaming Christians for this, it's radical feminists and our activist scumbags that are to blame. The group behind this is a collective shout. They're a good article breaking them down here that got censored by them afterwards and taken down. So here's a Wayback Machine version. This is thearchive.org. I will be linking this in the description of this video as well. And then here is Packet Girl. I don't know exactly who this is. Content includes in-depth live reactions on a diverse selection of latest anime and manga, not sponsored slash partnered. Um, so yeah, Embolden Feminist Group. Uh, so Embolden Christian organization Collective Shout posts open letter to payment processors profiting from R&I and CA games on Steam. These are the people they targeted. And like I said, I remember reading somewhere that they said that they were just spamming them with fake lies. They are demanding payment processors to demonstrate corporate social responsibility and immediate cease processing payments on Steam and Itch and any other programs hosting similar games. Which, yes, that means they're going to basically coming after those as well as soon as they figure it out. Um, the activists behind this letter. These are the people. These are the people who are causing our problems. Um, we are extremely struggling one woman, one cat operation to support our coverage as well as literally keep a roof over our heads. Please donate. Once again, my thing, they don't care about mindset. I've heard this name before, but I cannot remember. But again, they're hurting women. This group isn't doing anything other than hurting people. And they don't care that they're hurting people. Earliest this year, got hit by censorship. My stuff is pretty vanilla. Bonked on Patreon, Pixay, and X. Don't give these rats an inch. People have to write back because they won't stop there. We don't like to end like in China under CCP ruling. Um, do they have the same feelings toward OnlyFans? No, they don't. I just hope they remember signing this letter when something they care about is demanded offensive by someone at MasterCard. Like I said, the books that Melinda posts, the type of wording and languages in those books, I honestly could see MasterCard going against it. Um, 'Cause it talks about child abuse, so they could honestly come against her books and remove them off the market. And I know she's going to go and bitch and cry and say that's unjust and unfair. Well, maybe you shouldn't even given them an inch because now they've taken a mile. So maybe when that just desserts comes, I really hope it doesn't. Honestly, I wouldn't even worst. I honestly would not wish this on my worst enemy. What's currently happening to any this right now, even her, because no one deserves to be censored. Some groups won't say one word against illegal aliens doing those actual RL crimes and when openly fight to keep those criminals in our country to continue doing these actual things they're crying about in a comic book or game. My point. Um, feminists are going to still think they're feminists when they demand the payment processors block transactions for birth control. Honestly, they probably will, because this group is anti-abortion as well. Now they're going up to Tracy. We'll see which one might want to know about this business. Not sure who that is either. But yeah, like I said, they're hurting they're hurting women, they're hurting men. They're hurting the LGBT community, but they're anti-LGBT, so they don't care. Um, this shit just isn't right, and it needs to end before it goes any further. As I said in my last video, the time is to speak now before you can't. Call your congressman, sign the change.org. You might think it does nothing, but one voice can mean everything. And right now, we need all the voices we can get. What's to say that Discover, sorry. What's to say, well, they message Discover as well, right there. So what's to say that Discover or Visa or MasterCard or PayPal, just for whatever reason, they stop liking, let's just say, Chardonnay, the wine. Well, now you're no longer allowed to buy it at any store because they have to stop selling it. Or what if they just stop selling alcohol altogether? Or maybe they come after leggings, which this group supposedly has done in the past or something, or maybe it was another group. Either way, they have tried to ban certain forms of clothing because women wouldn't stop buying it. So my point there, who's to say that soon they might try to force women to have to cover their ankles, and we all have to start walking around like Mormons, um, or Jewish, or not Jewish, Muslims. I think it's Muslims. The ones that have to wear the head veils and have to cover pretty much every part of their body, if you're a female. This is only going to get worse from here. That it's not going to stop with adult games. And again, if you're sitting here watching this video this far in and you think this won't affect you, it will. I will say though, I hope that ages like fine wine or fine milk. I hope I'm wrong and this is where it stops and it doesn't go any further. And this is the last we'll hear about it. But honestly, this is probably what you're going to be hearing for the rest of the month. From me, from everyone. I don't want to call it Gamergate because I honestly hated that crap myself, but we are honestly looking at what I would say the gamer apocalypse of the YouTube ad apocalypse. The censoring and watering down of art to the point that it is pointless to even look at it or even call it art. So I'm going to end this here. And again, I'm going to say, I'm going to make it my little outro at this point. Speak now before you can.